Our Father, Creator, you hold our hearts together. There's no one higher than you. Redeemer, Defender, our great and mighty Savior. There's no one higher than you. You are always with us, gracious to forgive us. By your power we've been set free. Lord, we stand amazed in your presence, astounded by your mercy and love. Our hands are lifted high in surrender. Your grace for me is always enough. 'Cause there is no one higher than our God. There is no one greater than you. Let my life forever praise the glory of your name. 'Cause there is no one higher than you. Majestic and wonder, you reign with love forever. There's no one higher than you. Your beauty, your splendor, your glory knows no measure. There's no one higher than you. You are always with us, gracious to forgive us. By your power we've been set free. Lord, we stand amazed in your presence, astounded by your mercy and love. Our hands are lifted high in surrender. Your grace for me is
Welcome to the Real Life Center's ThanksLiving 2020. This is truly a time for us to come together and give. Welcome to the Real Life Center's ThanksLiving 2020. This is truly a time for us to come together and give thanks as a community. We are so glad that you could join us today. My name is Matt Lowe, and I have the privilege to serve as a volunteer coordinator here at the Real Life Center. While 2020 has brought forth many unique challenges, this year has also brought forth many things that we can be thankful for. One of the things I am thankful for is the generosity of our local community. The mission of the Real Life Center is this: neighbor helping neighbor. And that could also be a summary of what we see take place each week here at the Real Life Center in 2020. I am so grateful for all the ways in which the community has come together to help us help each other. Specifically, I want to say that I'm especially thankful for our amazing team of volunteers, the volunteers that we have here at the Real Life Center. Our volunteers serve faithfully each week to help us fulfill our mission of neighbor helping neighbor. Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. I'm wearing a turkey hat, and it is a day that is set aside just for us to eat. I'm really excited about our segment today. It features Chef Joe Hanna and his amazing team from Hanna Brothers. They'll be preparing for us dishes which you are going to make you wish you could just reach your fork right through the screen and try a bite. I hope you enjoy.
Good morning and welcome to Hanna Brothers at the Studio Cafe. We're honored to have the Real Life Center here in Fayetteville with us, right here in our kitchen. And so we'd like to tell you a little bit about what our family has prepared for you when you're the holiday season. When I think the holidays, I think about all of the wonderful things that I'm thankful for. And I will tell you, one of the reasons I became a chef is because I just love the holidays and food and cooking and being around my family and giving thanks and just the happiness that it brought to me. I'm so happy to live in this neighborhood and be right here at Trilla Studios, where we have the ability to be open and continue to serve people. I am fortunate enough to live in Trilla Forest, right across the street. I communicate right back and forth. I have the best neighbors in the world. We're able to live and work and disagree and continue to approach in love and to build a community that's raising our family, looking out for each other, helping the small businesses, sponsoring them small businesses like Real Life Centers, who's been so wonderful to give us this opportunity to tell you a little bit about us. Today I would like to introduce you to two of my favorite chefs, Chef Matthew Iflin and Chef Matthew Pablo. We're going to walk you through the family holiday package that we're going to have available for y'all through the holiday season. This dish that we're preparing today is called a dauphinoise potato. It's a fancy name for a scallop potato. It's a classical French dish. And the most important thing I can tell you here is to make sure you capture the starch in your potatoes. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to prepare our cream. I don't want you to boil your cream. I just want you to bring your cream up to where it gets nice and hot. I recommend 210 degrees. The way I do that is I just keep a thermometer in my cream. Once my cream gets up to 210 degrees, you go ahead and season that. And what we season that cream with is fresh thyme, kosher salt, fresh garlic, and a little bit of cracked pepper. And at that temperature of 210 degrees, it allows everything to open up and to marry together. Now, once you have your cream for one pan, you're going to put 1 quart of cream in there. And you'll see, you take what Matthew has right there, just a little Japanese mandolin, simplest thing in the world. They cost $10. And what he's doing is he's scalloping his potatoes just by slicing them real nice and thin on that mandolin. And then as he slices them, he puts them right into the cream and he massages them into the cream. As he fills the pan up, you're only going to go about 3/4 of the way full. So the first thing you want to do before you start this dish is preheat your convection oven to 300 degrees. Once your convection oven is 300 degrees, the next thing you would do, you would put your cream on the stove, and you would turn the fire on the stove. Bring your cream up to 210 degrees, And then again, we're going to put our seasoning. Lots of fresh thyme, you guys. Fresh thyme. The aromatics are absolutely amazing. Also fresh garlic, no jar garlic. Let's prepare our garlic ourselves. I always like kosher salt. We happen to crack our own black pepper. So as we mandolin and we scallop these potatoes, we add them to the cream. This pan here is just about done. Once he massages that pan of potatoes in with that cream real good, you want to get it to the point where there's just a little layer of cream left on top and all of the potatoes are covered with the cream. Now your potatoes must be covered with the cream or of course they're going to oxidize, and nobody likes oxidized potatoes. So we want to make this dish real quick. As you see, he added a little bit of extra cream to there because we want to make sure everything's nice and covered. But Chef Matt is one of the best potato massagers of all time, and he's done a wonderful job with this dish. At this time, this dish is ready for the oven. Our oven is preheated to 300 degrees. I highly recommend a convection oven. I'm going to put this dish in that preheated oven for 45 minutes. After 45 minutes, you're going to get a nice golden brown. What you call that is you're going to get your nice caramelization because your potato is going to release that sugar and it's going to make this beautiful gold caramelization on top. That's what you're looking for. And then once you get that, you take a toothpick and you stick it through the potatoes. It should go through them. None of them should bite. It should just go right through there, nice and pliable. At that time, you bring that dish out of the oven and you let it rest for about 25 to 30 minutes, at least 20 minutes. I like 25 to 30 so that everything marries up, your cream sets, your potato sets, everything's opened up, everything's married together. And then once you start to slice this dish and present this dish, you'll have a nice structure. Now let's talk about how we prepare our prime rib here at Hannah Brothers. First and foremost, buy a good piece of meat. I don't have a recipe for how to make a beautiful prime rib without starting with a beautiful piece of meat. Here we use the 1855 CAB prime rib. Choice is fine. Choice is really all you need. 1855 is wonderful. Prime starts to get a little bit. Choice. Make sure you buy a choice ribeye when you go to start with your prime rib. Now, once you open your prime rib, we want to dry this off. We want to pat dry this. We want to make sure that our seasonings and our flavors are going to marry into the meat and not just fall off because it's wet. And I don't like blood on any of my food before I start to cook it. So I highly recommend you open up your meat, you pat it dry. I like to let it open up for a few minutes, get a little bit of air to it so it can breathe. And then once it starts breathing, I go ahead and pull my chain back. Now this is right out of the package. We've done nothing to this other than select a nice heavy prime rib, nice piece of meat. We've opened it up. We've dried it, we've removed all our blood. Now, you don't even need a knife here. We prepare this by just using our hand and we bring back our fat cap. Once we've removed our fat cap all the way like this, your tail's gonna open up and give you a nice bed, also a nice crevice to hold a lot of flavor for it. I recommend you take advantage of that. I like kosher salt. It's a much better product. Doesn't cost any more. Highly recommend kosher salt. Now your prime rib needs salt. Guys, it needs a real nice salt crust. You almost can't put too much salt on your prime rib. You want the whole thing covered in salt everywhere, all the way around it. Front, back, top, bottom. Love on your prime rib with salt. It's the most important thing, biggest mistake people make with their prime rib is not buying a choice piece of meat and then not using enough salt. If you were just to do that, have a beautiful piece of meat, choice prime rib, and you put enough salt on it, you really can't go wrong. Now we continue the embellishment with fresh cracked pepper. Again, love on your meat. Your meat needs seasonings. season it all the way around, top, bottom, sides. We actually grind our own black pepper, but let me tell you something. When you grind your own black pepper, it's way stronger than the pepper that you buy at the store. So only use about 30% if you grind your pepper yourself of what you would use at the store. I'm not going to talk bad about pre-ground black pepper. I'm just going to tell you how wonderful and aromatic and the depth of the flavor of grinding your own black pepper. So next we're going to love it again with some fresh prepared garlic. This is fresh prepared garlic. We buy our cloves already cleaned, but then we chop them up. Our garlic is not in oil, it's not in water. We buy our cloves whole, peeled, and we chop them up. And again, your meat wants to be seasoned. It wants to be flavored. This is a 17-pound piece of meat. You're only putting it on the outside. It's not going inside, it's not going anywhere else. You're just making a nice crust on the outside. And that's really what you want to do. You want to make a beautiful crust on the outside of your meat by thoroughly rubbing your flavors in and using enough of them so that they can coat the entire piece of meat. Matt right here has been doing this recipe for a very long time. Now the next one, the fresh herbs. You'll get a lot of chefs to tell you that don't use fresh herbs. You'll get a lot of chefs to tell you that they wouldn't cook their meat without fresh herbs. It's up to you guys. This one's your choice. I myself, I love rosemary and thyme. I like those aromatics. I love to pull it out of the oven and set it on my table and let everybody smell those aromatics. Prime rib does not have to have thyme. It does not have to have rosemary. We here at Hanna Brothers, we love the aromatics. We like that depth. We like the depth of the flavor that it brings to our meat. So we use it, and again, we use it in abundance. So we're rubbing it from top, bottom, side to side. We're loving it like our favorite girlfriend that we ever had. Want to make sure that we bring lots of love. And then it's funny because people always talk about cooking with passion and cooking in love. I'll tell you about that for 1 second. What that means is that people enjoy what they're doing. So when you're cooking with passion and you're cooking with love and you're cooking for your family and you're cooking for people that you care about and you're cooking for your wife and you're cooking for your kids and you're enjoying what you're doing, that's what it means to cook with love and to cook with passion and to cook with pride. I would never serve anything to anybody that I would not eat myself. I believe everything starts with selections. It's all about the selections, and then it's all about methods and techniques. Doesn't matter how beautiful it is here, it's how beautiful it gets to my client. After I've seasoned this meat up very, very well, now I'm going to go ahead and tie it. I like to tie it 3 or 4 times on each side, on top and on bottom. This is a larger 17-pound piece of meat, piece of prime rib, so I'm going to give it 4 across the front, so it's going to be about every 4 inches, and I'm going to bring that twine nice and tight. Nothing fancy, nothing sophisticated, don't make it too difficult. We're taking the piece of twine, we're going around the meat, and we're pulling it nice and tight. What this does is it brings all the juices together. First, we season it properly so that it encrusts. And what that crust does is it protects all your juices to stay in there, to stay real nice. And then once you take this twine and you bring it together, that's the extra embellishment. That's the extra passion. That's the extra love of making sure that you retain all the wonderful flavors of this really nice 1855 CAB prime rib. So I got four ties, about every 3 to 4 inches. Now this beauty, she's ready to go. There's nothing else to it. One thing I forgot to tell you before you start on your meat, preheat your oven to 400 degrees. Again, I like a convection oven. Always, I don't know a recipe that I don't preheat my oven for.
The best way to roast this, once you get an initial sear on there, that 400 degrees, nice caramelization, we're going to then lower the heat because we don't want to shrink this piece of meat, okay? We want to cook it low and slow. The best way to, everybody says, well, how long do I cook it? So your best investment for your kitchen is a little digital meat thermometer, and you would cook it to the desired level of doneness. If you want it rare, you would leave it about 125. You want it medium rare, I would go to about 130, 135. Medium well, 145 to 155. Well done, 160. Not recommended to serve it well done, but if that's your preference, that's your preference. Also remember that this is a large piece of meat, so after it's pulled out of the oven, you want to let it rest. And as it's resting, it's going to increase the temperature. You're going to probably gain another 5 degrees from the initial temperature that you took it out of the oven. So keep that in mind. So it will carry over, cook a little bit. All right?
What's your favorite temperature, Chef Matthew?
Favorite temperature in the middle for me, I would say, is about 145. In the middle and the thickest part. Your ends obviously are going to be more well done because you're cooking from the outside in. Middle temperature, 145. It'll go to about 150 max, and that'll be beautiful. Okay? Let's put her in the oven. All right, so here we have our completed finished prime rib out of the oven. We've placed it on a nice platter with some garnish, some fresh rosemary, some kale, a little bit of oven-dried tomato. That's, just something we like to do, make it look a little bit, festive. And you're welcome to just put it on a platter. And again, this should rest for at least a good half hour before you carve it. Let all those juices go back into the meat before you carve it, and then just a carving fork, a nice sharp knife, cut it as thin or as thick as you'd like it. But this is beautiful for any holiday, any formal event. Like we said, we will be doing these packages for the holiday, and if you don't want to attempt this, we'd love to do it for you. Thank you very much.
And these are just two of the final dishes that we've prepared for you here at Hannah Brothers for our holiday package, family holiday package meal that we're preparing for you all through the holidays for November and December. If you don't want to go through all this work and all this effort, we encourage you, just call us up, let us do this for you. Your package will include this 1855 CAB prime rib. It's going to include the wild king salmon. It's going to include the dolphin wild potatoes, the beautiful fresh baby carrots, the green beans almondine, the homemade yeast rolls. It's even going to include your beverages, your sweet tea and your lemonade. And then to top it all off, you're going to have your absolutely wonderful dessert, your Georgia pecan pies and your Georgia peach cobbler. Of course, you'll get all of your condiments and everything that is needed with this package to put it on your own platters in your house. You can tell everybody that you worked endlessly and tirelessly and how hard it was and how much effort you put into it. And you can have all the confidence in the world that everything's going to be absolutely tasty and delicious. And again, I just want to let everyone know how much we appreciate what the RealLife Center does for the kids and to help the kids in our environment. All that they do, the efforts they put in to make sure the kids are fed and get the kids the needs and to meet the needs of the children. Sometimes we take things for granted. I live in such a beautiful community here. I want to also thank my leaders, my local leaders, for allowing us to be back open, for continuing to give us that opportunity to serve, for continuing to give us the opportunity to build community, for our Trilla studio leader, Frank Patterson, who's just done an amazing job in our transition from where we were to where we're at, to the creatives and the storytellers that live here, but not only that, to the learning centers and the continuing education and the building of family and the building community that we're able to do right here and be a part of Trilla Forest and continue to serve together with our neighbors and our communities, to be able to disagree and love each other at the same time right here where we're at each and every day. Don't forget to let us cook your family package from our family to you guys this holiday season. We appreciate you all so much for being a part of this, and we look forward to seeing you real soon.
So the RealLife Center, I am so amazed at how many lives they touch in the community and what it is that they do to give back and connect with people. I have homeless people that actually lived in our parking lot, and I reached out to the RealLife Center, and it was whatever we can do, let's do that. If we can't, then let's put you in the right place to get the person help. And so that was a huge thing for us. So I feel like I'm truly a part of the RealLife Center.
Hi, my name is Beth, and I've been a volunteer at the RealLife Center since 2015, and I am very thankful for the health of my family, my friends, and my wonderful volunteers here at the RealLife Center.
Hi, I'm Vittori, and today I just want to let everyone know what I'm thankful for. I'm thankful for God's grace and mercy, and I'm definitely thankful for the RealLife Center and all that they have done, and so thankful for the Christian brothers as well. Thank you.
Quiero agradecer a Food Bank porque ellos están ayudando mucho en cuando nos dan las cosas para la casa, como la leche y los alimentos. Trabajo limpiando casas y es difícil la situación ahora. La gente no necesita que le limpien su casa porque ellos están en casa, y estoy muy agradecida con Food Bank.
For God, who has gotten us through a mighty rough time, because with this pandemic going on, we might not even be here. So I'm so thankful for that, and I'm so thankful for everybody that has been here to help us through. The RealLife Center has been a blessing to us, especially in this time. So we're very grateful.
All right, I'd love to introduce you now to Pablo Colon. He's the executive pastry chef here at Hanna Brothers. One thing that we pride ourselves with here at Hanna Brothers is that everything that we do here is made from scratch, just like your grandmother used to make. And a lot of the recipes that we've developed and that Pablo's developed over the years here, just part of the journey of being a chef and being a culinarian, different places. I know he's worked for the Ritz-Carlton. He's a native of Puerto Rico. And just putting that love and that passion into the desserts as well as the food here. And I'd love to turn it over to Pablo.
Okay, good morning. Good morning, everyone. So today we're going to present the two really nice classic desserts from the South, which is pecan pie. Pecan pie, yes, I say pecan. And then we're going to have peach cobbler, which is very popular around here. And of course, I'm going to make my own things on that, so I'm going to put a little bit flavor or some Latino, spices and things like that. But people love it here. So, and for me, it's a pleasure to be here, be part of this team, and I've enjoyed working with Matt, with my team, with my fellows here, and I've been blessed, just to be part of Hanna Brothers. So let's do this. Let's go digging inside, and we're gonna try it and taste it. Okay? So let me start with the peach cobbler. This one we have a little bit of crumble on top, and then I put a nutmeg, a little bit nutmeg, and then I put also cinnamon on the mix. And then I would like to serve in this hot. That is the way we serve it. We can serve it with ice cream or also with whipped cream. So here I just have a little bit of cream chantilly, and I just put it like that. So, and here we go. Really simple for anybody can do it at home. It's very nice and it's really good. Let me give you a try on this one, okay? And then take a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Yummy, yummy. Really good. Let me try also the pecan. And the good thing with this dessert, you can order too. We can sell it to you, a whole dessert. It's not just a piece. You're gonna find it in our buffet. So you can order it online, you can call, and we're gonna make it for you, freshly made every day. Also, we have a showcase now. We have a program, and we start selling. So you can come, and we're gonna have a menu for monthly menu. So, and you can buy it there. So just try the one. Just give me a break to show you what we have here. And I know you're gonna enjoy it, all right? So this pie is still fresh because it just came out of the oven. So you will see all the juice in this pie. Ooh la la, yummy, yummy. And this one is good too with cream. So let me put some cream here. Matt, I forgot another spoon
okay.
for you.
You can go ahead.
All right, let me try the pecan pie. Oh yeah, so good. And something very important in this one, you have to put a little bit of salt to give it that balance, okay? And then the salt just made magic. Yes. So please come visit us and enjoy our desserts. Thank you so much. Huh?
All right, everybody, thank you so much for having us. We'd love to see you here at the Studio Cafe. If you need any information, please visit the website or call, and we'd love to see you this holiday season, or love to be able to cook for you. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
And happy holidays.
Hello, my name is Craig Evans, and I'm a volunteer here at the RealLife Center. And what I'm most thankful for this year is probably our family's health. Everyone's been relatively safe, and the people that we know who have gotten COVID have recovered quickly, so we're thankful for that. And as far as why I volunteer and what I get out of it, it's a fantastic organization, and I guess really, if you think about it, we could all be in this spot sometime in our own life, and so it's really great to be able to volunteer and maybe brighten people's day a little bit.
Hi, I'm Dan Rankin, and I'm a volunteer at the RealLife Center. I'm also on the board, and just so thankful for all the volunteers that come every week and how they work so hard and they serve our clients, and they just do a great job, and just so thankful for them as well as the RealLife staff. They do a great job. They keep this place running so well to be able to serve so many and serve individuals too, and see them as individuals. So it's an awesome place, and I'm very thankful for all the volunteers.
My name is Michaela, and I'm thankful for my family.
Hello. You know, during these challenging times, sometimes we think there's not going to be suffering in the world, but actually there is, and God never said there wouldn't be. And I'm just so thankful during this time that when there is suffering, we can draw closer to Him, and actually that's what it does in my life. It draws me closer to Christ.
Hello, my name is Coquita Wilder, and I am the Fayette County School Nutrition Director for the district. One of the things that I am most grateful for is my hardworking staff that we have at all of the schools. This year, our staff really stepped up and served the community. From the beginning of March, we served all the kids through the pandemic in the community. We had several sites that was open where we provided free access to meals for breakfast and lunch every day. And I just want to give a shout out to my hardworking staff at Fayette County High School for all their hard work, and all of the schools across our district for their hard work and dedication this summer. Thank you very much.
I am thankful for the technology that has allowed me to stay in touch with my family during COVID.
I'm thankful for our partnership and the collaboration with the RealLife Center. The way they love and provide for families, they're a great example for Jesus' teaching to love our neighbors.
Hi, my name is Lori, and I just wanted to say how very thankful I am to the Real Life Center. They have helped my family tremendously with food. They've also helped me with a utility bill. They've actually also helped me with some clothing for both me and my children. So I am extremely grateful to them, and I hope that they are able to help somebody else.
Hi, this is Richard Bearden, along with my wife Sheila. We are very, very thankful for all the participation in the purchases of Manny the Manatee Mailbox Christmas ornament. All the proceeds went to the Real Life Center. We're hoping that our little donation, or your donation, will help the Real Life Center continue to offer a lifeline to the needy.
Hi, I'm Matt Lowe, and I serve as a volunteer coordinator for the Real Life Center. I have to say, I have the best job at all. I get to work with such an amazing group of people who have a heart to serve. Our volunteers are really the backbone of the Real Life Center. Without this dedicated group of men and women, we would not be able to fulfill our mission. I'm incredibly thankful for the men and women that serve faithfully each and every week to make it all come together. If you were to walk through the Real Life Center during our operating hours, you would see our volunteers working hard to start preparing bags to distribute to our families. We serve over 300 families each week. This can only happen by another group of volunteers that have been involved with a food drive, those who might have picked up the food, those who then sort, stock, and then bag it to get ready to serve. Yet another group of volunteers may be out signing in our families, directing traffic, or loading the cars in the rain or the heat. And that is just what it takes to make the food distribution happen each day. Each month, we are serving approximately 50,000 pounds of food through our Real Life Center food pantry and at our monthly mobile food distribution. Other volunteers use their gift of administration. Other volunteers are willing to sort clothing donations or make follow-up calls to check in with the families that we serve. They take time to go to the cars and pray for individuals. Other volunteers meet one-on-one with new families, or perhaps they teach a class. They work in the orchard or garden. They work on a resume. They offer some budget counseling and even work on an event in many more ways. There are lots of ways to be used. Being a volunteer is a great way to use your skills, gifts, and talents to help one another. I often hear from volunteers, I get way more out of coming in than I ever give. From young children that help pick blueberries in the orchard to the bit older generation, we have several volunteers in our 80s and 90s. There is a place for you to plug in. It takes all of us working together to make it happen. You may have heard the phrase, and maybe your mom said it somewhere along the way, that many hands make light work. You know, it turns out there's a lot of truth in that statement. We cannot do this without the many hands that come and serve together. And we cannot be more thankful for the team of volunteers that we have that help us carry out our mission of meeting needs, investing in loving others, and changing lives. It's what we get to do here at the Real Life Center, offer a safe place to serve and to come to get help with needs and a plan to create stability and have folks invest in them as we walk alongside you and navigate through to the other side, all while weaving in hope and love. So if you haven't been to the Real Life Center yet, we encourage you to come visit us. Let us know. We would love to meet with you. You can go to our website at reallifecenter.org to learn more about us and schedule a time to take a tour. And once you come, I bet you will join the others that say, I get way more out of serving than I give.
Thank you for joining me in the Real Life Center to learn about putting together a Thanksgiving centerpiece. I'm Bonnie Helander. I'm the gardening writer for Fayette Woman Magazine. And if you need specific instructions for today, our November issue of Fayette Woman, I have a story about putting together a pumpkin planters, so you'll have all your instructions, and so pick up a magazine in any location, library, stores around town. I want to start with the succulent centerpiece, and I think this is kind of fun because it's a little more contemporary. It's using non-traditional flowers, and what we did to create this is I got a plastic nursery container, 6 inches wide and about 7 inches long, just your basic container, and I planted in that container an assortment of succulents. And succulents are kind of fun because they're different, they're colorful, And I added a sedum just to drape over. So we scooped out the pumpkin, and we cut a hole the size of the container. So then when you're done, you just set the container inside. And usually you don't need to water succulents very much, but if you needed to water it, you could just lift the container out and then put it back in. Now you want to pick a pumpkin that's got a nice stem on it because you want to add that as some feature. And what we did was we stuck nails in it, and then the pointy end of the nail goes into the pumpkin. And so it creates a nice centerpiece, and when you're done, you can lift out your succulents. You've got them for another container. Your pumpkin can go in your compost pile, if you have a compost pile, or you can just throw it away. So that's number one. I think that's kind of a fun idea. The number two one that I did is we planted it. It's planted. All the flowers are planted inside. And I used a bigger pumpkin because I wanted to have more space. And again, we scooped out the insides. We cut a big hole. We got a nice pumpkin with a nice stem. And the plants that I used in here are trying to figure out harvest colors. Now this is a house plant, a croton, with all of this different cool foliage. This is your basic mums. We've got a little ornament here and a mushroom and a nice ribbon. So if you're going to actually plant a pumpkin, after you scoop it out, you're going to need to put in a drainage hole and then cover the drainage hole with a coffee filter. And then you use potting mix about halfway up. Don't use native soil, use potting mix. And then you add your assortment of plants. This will take you for weeks. This is like a regular container. And so when you're done after the holiday, you can take out the house plant, put it in another container. You can actually leave the mums in if you want and plant the whole thing in the ground, because the pumpkin will decompose over time and add some nice nutrients to the soil. Or again, you can toss it in your compost pile. But it's a fun thing. You don't have to get rid of it. You can let it decompose, and you're helping your garden. Other options you could have here, if you wanted to put in a perennial plant, you could put in a camellia or something like that. And again, you can plant it in the garden, and it creates a nice not only centerpiece, but then you're adding to your garden a beautiful plant. If you decide you don't want to use pumpkins, you can get ceramic containers that are the harvest colors, baskets like harvest baskets where you would do apples. That would be a great container. Other ideas are just fill a vase with what you've got in the garden. Pine branches with pine cones. Camellias with buds, nandina with the beautiful red foliage and berries, anything like that that is going to give texture and structure and something interesting. Ferns, that makes a great centerpiece. But this is kind of fun, and kids love it, so I hope that you'll take the time to kind of create one for Thanksgiving. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Greg Giorgiani, and I've been a volunteer at the RealLife Center for just under a year. So why do I volunteer? For me, there are two reasons. First, there are many terrific organizations throughout South Atlanta that are focused on providing support to individuals and families in need. However, not many provide a holistic approach, incorporating the physical, emotional, relational, financial, mental, and spiritual aspects of our lives. Here at the RealLife Center, we do just that. Second, when my wife and I relocated here from California, I was looking for volunteer organizations in which to serve. When I asked neighbors and others at our church who they might recommend, one name came up time and time again, the RealLife Center. That's a testament to the authenticity and quality work being provided when the community recommends an organization. Although each volunteer operates in a different manner, for the days I work the food pantry, I like to greet my client at the door and get to know them as I shop, bag, and place the food in their vehicle. One of my fondest memories I can recall while serving is when I came out to the lobby and someone mentioned that one of the clients was asking specifically for me. What a blessing. You never know how much a little compassion, words of encouragement, and practical assistance can impact a person's life and get them on the right track. Over time, I get to know the clients, and we both look forward to seeing each other. Once at their vehicle, I like to ask to pray with them. For many, that simple gesture brings such gratitude to their hearts, a benefit for both of us. Our clients are at times in a desperate situation. Being able to spend a few minutes in prayer may be the only comfort they have that week, as their home life, financial, and relational situation may be in shambles. It's important to remember that as a volunteer, we are the arms and legs of Christ to our clients, where His message turns into reality. Another aspect of my volunteer activities is making follow-up calls to the clients to check in with them, see if they are working on their goals they agreed to, and in general, providing further assistance and prayer. The thanks and admiration for our call is always appreciated. I remember one of the clients told me the following: "Honey, the RealLife Center has been there for me, and I thank God for the work you all do." During this Thanksgiving season, I'm thankful for the opportunity to contribute, support, and minister through the RealLife Center. We are living in very challenging times, and having the opportunity to simply help others defines for me what Thanksgiving is all about. I say time and again that the best days of my week are the days that I volunteer at the RealLife Center. Throughout my life, I've financially given to various nonprofits, which I know is needed support. But by actually serving in a hands-on capacity, I'm able to live out 1 Peter 1:10. Each of us should use whatever gift he has to serve others. That's what we do each day here at the RealLife Center.
Hello, my name is Lena Martin, and I have the privilege of being the marketing coordinator here at the RealLife Center. What I am most thankful for is the Lord's faithfulness to provide, especially when life gets difficult, and for His peace in the times of waiting. For many families in our community, the Lord provides for them through the resources here at the RealLife Center. Your support has been a very important part of those provisions. We could not continue to meet the needs of an average of 100 families each day we are open without the financial generosity of those who believe in our mission and our ministry and partner with us this way. Every food drive, every hour of service, whether it's pre-bagging food or picking apples in the orchard, every dollar donated, it all counts in the bigger picture of changing the life of a neighbor. If you have been a part of the provisions that sustain the families we are currently serving and that have helped so many families already reach a place of stability over the past 20 years that we have been in this community, we thank you so much for partnering with us. We don't take your support for granted, as you truly are the foundation for our programs. If you would like to partner with the RealLife Center, there are many ways to do so. The easiest two ways that you can be a part of changing lives right here in Fayette and Coweta counties is by texting to give and shopping our incredible auction right here, right now. Text your financial gift by texting GOBID, that is GOBID, to 56651. When prompted, simply respond with the dollar amount. Then follow the payment instructions. This is a safe and secure site. Shopping our auction is also a wonderful way to get your Christmas shopping done while providing the RealLife Center the funding needed for our financial assistance and food programs, as well as our other programs we offer the families we are serving. Go to www.ThanksLiving2020.org and click on the brown Register to Bid button located on the auction page. It's that simple. Bidding will close on Sunday, November 15th at 8 p.m. Don't miss your chance at making your Christmas shopping easier this year. We have something for everyone in our auction, we really do. Car wash certificates for Dad, massages for Mom, themed baskets ready to give as a gift to anyone. We have beautiful custom-made works from local artists and craftsmen who are using their talents to help their neighbors by donating their pieces to our auction, such as cutting boards made by Denny Debner of Debner Fine Art and Furniture, and a gorgeous necklace custom made by local jewelry designer Suzanne Audette of Monilly Bay Designs. We have so many handmade with love items made from the women from All Saints Anglican Church that will take you back to a simpler time, such as adorable handcrafted bird ornaments for your tree. We have unique and practical handcrafted gifts ready to go, great for a special present for a teacher or neighbor. Shop and see the many getaways and certificates for local dining and services. Do you have someone in your life who is really difficult to buy for? Honor their special occasion by winning the bid on a formation flyover of several planes from the pilots of the Falcon RV Squadron. Have you always wanted a large family-style table just like the ones you see at Chick-fil-A's around the country made by the guys from the Better Way Men Ministry of More Than a Table? We have one of those exact tables in our auction, which includes the testimony on the underside of the table of a redeemed life of one of the men whose hands made it. Do you see how we have something for everyone? Lighting donated by Cooper Lighting Solutions, custom-made hall trees, tickets to area attractions and things to do, redecorate a room, a venue rental with cake. You have to see it all for yourself. You can even bid on a homemade dinner to keep you out of the kitchen, homemade pies for your Thanksgiving meal, homemade ice cream. You get the picture. Again, go to www.ThanksLiving2020.org to register to bid in our auction. It truly is a very easy way to support the Real Life. We are so grateful for so many businesses, civic groups, small groups, and individuals whose donations have made our auction possible. You are difference makers, and we are so thankful for you. We are grateful for our time with you this morning, and we hope you will join us again for our last segment this evening at 7 p.m., where Ashley and Billy of Palmer's Restaurant will bring our event to a close with a sweet ending. In closing this morning's segment, I will share the words of John F. Kennedy, which summarizes the focus of our ThanksLiving event this year. As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter the words, but to live by them. We hope you have been encouraged in many ways to not only be thankful, but to live thankfully. God bless.
Creator, you hold our hearts together. There's no one higher than you. Redeemer, defender, our great and mighty Savior. There's no one higher than you. You are always with us, gracious to forgive us. By your power we've been set free. Lord, we stand amazed in your presence, astounded by your mercy and love. Our hands are lifted high in surrender. Your grace for me is always majestic and wonder. You reign with love forever. There's no one higher than you. Your beauty, your splendor, your glory knows no measure. There's no one higher than you. You are always with us, gracious to forgive us. By your power we've been set free. Lord, we stand amazed in your presence, astounded by your mercy and love. Our hands are lifted high in surrender. Your grace for me is always enough. There is no one higher than our God. There is no one greater than you. Let my life forever praise the glory of your name. 'Cause there is no one higher than you. There's no one higher than you, There is no one higher, no one greater, no one like our God. There is none more able, Christ our Savior, great and glorious. There is no one higher, no one greater, no one like our God. There is none more able, Christ our Savior, great and glorious. There is no one higher, no one greater, no one like our God. There is none more able, Christ our Savior, great and glorious. There is no one higher, no one greater, no one like our God. There is none more able, Christ our Savior, great and glorious. There is no one higher, no one greater, no one like our God. There is none more able, Christ our Savior, great and glorious. There is no one higher, no one greater, no one like our God. There is none more able, Christ our Savior, great and glorious. Lord, we stand amazed in your presence, astounded